What's going on, world? What's going on? It's your main man, the author. Right back at that ass again. Here's another one. What's going on? I just want to make this brief video, man. And I was thinking about this as well, man. You know, I only make videos and I believe that I have a strong thought that's in my head. Black women love married men. I repeat, black women love married men. All right? Now, I'm not going to say all women don't like to break the rules when it comes to marriage. All right? Some females can find that as a aphrodisiac, banging a married man, right? No matter what race you are, right? But some good shit right here. Excuse me as I take this little break. But at the same time, though, man, black females, bruh, they love married men, bruh. Love them. Yo, I'll use this example. So, and not just based on what I've seen and heard throughout my life. Now I'm coming with experience too, because I'm not super young anymore. But here's the thing. Here's the story I heard, right? I heard this black female commentator, right? She was telling this story, right? The story was about this teacher and this female black teacher. She was about 41 years old. She's about my age. She had 2 kids, right? And she was with, well, the title said that teacher was with principal, but I think this guy was a teacher as well. Anyway, it was this black male teacher who worked at the same school that she worked at, right? Right? So black male teacher, and supposedly they knew each other from back in the day, right? So they used to, you know, they had a thing going on, but they kept it on they didn't want too many people to know about it, right? So for some reason, the black male teacher, he left and went to another school, right? Okay, for some reason, right? So, you know, now this teacher was there by herself, but they still kept in contact, right? Well, one day, the black female teacher went over this brother's house, right? Okay, keep in mind, brother's a teacher, right? So she came over his house, and the camera show her going in the house, but never coming out. But that was later on. Okay, so you know what happened was eventually the mother was asking about where's her daughter. The black female teacher never showed up. She never came home, right? I think it was weeks later they found the car abandoned, right? And I think the teacher was in the trunk, right? She was dead, right? She had been killed. They questioned my mans about what was going on. Now they found out, to make a long story short, they found out that he did it. But they also, and they knew that the cops found out that they had been, an item. They had been sexually involved, right? But they also found out that dude he was married, right? So dude was married, okay? And they said his camera reveals that the female came in through the front door. She never came out, but they saw some activity where My man sprayed the cameras. They showed him come back, and he was messing around with his trunk or whatever. So they pretty much had the evidence saying that that revealed that he put the teacher in the back trunk. Now, mind you, this dude never had a record before. I'm not saying he was wrong, but I was a teacher. In order to be a teacher, man, you have to have a spotless record, bro. No misdemeanors, none of that. Especially no felonies, nothing. Got to be clean. No situations with kids, nothing. All right? So, and of course, she told the story from a black female's perspective. So she said, well, you know, these black men are entitled and they're weak, and black females, you have to watch out for these weak, entitled black men, so on and so forth. So she came from that angle, right? But here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. That's why I like sometimes when brothers tell stories, when brothers give their perspective after telling these stories. Okay? So here's my point of view. Here's what I think happened. Now, she knew this dude was married. Check. She knew it. You can't tell me she didn't know he was married. She knew dude was married. No doubt. Okay? So I think what happened was, because of course he knew she had kids, what happened was I think she probably went over that man's house, tried to blackmail that man, and he snapped. I bet you that's what I'm not saying, because they didn't say what happened. They did say that he killed her and put her in a trunk. But I'm telling you, this dude had no record. I think she went over there, blackmailed that dude, probably tried to get something out of him, and said, okay, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna tell your wife. They tried to make, because the female who told the story tried to make the black female look like she could walk on water. But the black female knew he was married. I know she knew. And she probably came over with that type of bullshit. My man snapped and killed her. Now, I'm not saying he was right. He was wrong in what he did, and he's going to pay for it, of course. He'll probably never get out of prison. But the thing is, the thing is this. She knew that dude was married. You got 2 kids. Why are you messing around with a married man? You know what I'm saying? Because you know what the female who told the story said? She said, even if she did know he was married, she ain't deserve to die. Which I agree with that statement. But she did put herself in a dangerous situation. But the black female who told the story didn't say that. You know, you shouldn't be messing around with a married man, no matter how long you've known him for. He might be desperate. She probably said, yo, if you don't leave your wife, a lot of them try to because they want to break down the home. If you don't leave your wife X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna. You know what I'm saying? Because this dude had no priors. He was a teacher. He couldn't have had priors, right? So that dude snapped, man. He snapped. I mean, he was in his mid-30s. And the female tried to say, oh, but he was living with his grandmother. But regardless of all that, he was a teacher in his mid-30s. He didn't have a record. Okay? And she knew he was married. And she probably tried to use that against that man. And that man snapped on her like that, man. And brothers shouldn't be messing with. Now, he was wrong with messing with somebody outside of his marriage. But that's my point. She knew he was married, but still fucking with that dude. Still trying to get with that dude. Probably trying to see if she could take him, away from his wife. Just for some silly self-esteem shit. I guarantee that it was some stupid shit like that. And they were saying how everybody loved her at the school, X, Y, Z. But you knew that man was married. That's being irresponsible. Yeah, she didn't deserve to die, but at the same time, she put herself in a dangerous situation. It's just to say, even if he didn't do anything to her, it doesn't mean that his wife would not have. You know what I'm saying? You putting yourself in the line of fire doing some shit like that. Knowing, and it's a lot of stories I hear about black females getting with black students, getting with married men, all type of crazy shit. A lot of black females love married men, bro. Like, why do you love men that you're not supposed to love getting with them? Like, come on, man. She couldn't have been that good a person if she got with this dude and she knew he was married. And I know you can't say she ain't know. She knew. And you know what else the female said who told the story? She said, if I had been her and he had told me that he was married, I probably would have left right there and then. What's the problem with that statement? What's the problem with that statement? She said, if he had told me, the narrator now, the commentator that was telling the story about this teacher, this 41-year-old teacher, this female who was killed by her 35-year-old lover who was also a teacher. What did she say? She said, if he had told me that he was married, right, I probably would have been out then and there. Probably. Dog. Probably. Like, yo, so you might have stayed? Like, yo, you see that? Even a female commentator, you could tell she was a black female by her voice, right? And she said she might have stayed too. They love married men, bro. They love them. Thugs and married men. Black females, Achilles heel. Thugs and married men. They love them, man. I don't know what it is about married men that they love. Like, I guess it's the intrigue of not being able to have them, or because some females who are higher up in the world, they're like, man, I don't want somebody else's leftovers, but black women do not mind getting, they love married men. Love them to death. Like fucking around with this man and you know he married just to see if you could get something. I don't know how that conversation went, but either she was trying to get money from him, but somewhere in the statement she probably said, "I'm gonna tell your wife," and because they say he went upside her head with a blunt object like a bat. Somewhere in that conversation, she probably said, "I'm gonna tell your wife." He probably heard when she was talking. He was like, just like the average male listening to the average female, like, just so she hoping she'll eventually shut the fuck up. I'm gonna tell your wife, motherfucker. I bet you that's kind of how it went. I bet you that's how. Not to make light of a serious situation, but it's like, why be a female and put yourself in that situation where you love married men? Now, yeah, this brother, he's gonna pay for what he's done. Black men in America is gonna pay. Black men in America pay for what they do, pay for what they don't do, pay for what other motherfuckers have done. We pay in general. You know, that's just how it is for the most part. So I don't want to harp on what he did, but they're trying to make it seem like she was so great, she was so graceful, she was this, she was that, but she knew that man was married. She knew it, and still kept messing around with him, and kept messing around with him, and kept messing around with him until they had that last conversation. And I don't know why black women love married men. I don't know what it is. They love a man who's with somebody. Even in some of these rap songs, they be talking about I take your man and XYZ. They like that type of shit. I don't know if it's a self-esteem thing. I don't know a married man or a taken man to a black female is like, I guess it's to spin off some of these guys be trying to take females, girls, and they say, I took your girl, and the females are just same way. I took your man. I mean, but I would think that's more of a, I don't know, because I mean, I guess black females have always been like that. Some people say, well, the black males are trying to be like the black females when they talk about they'll take your chick and stuff like that. Because what man wants another man's leftovers? But black females have always been like that. I take your man and I'll fuck him and all this other type of shit. Or I'll take your friend to get back at you. They'll fuck your friend. I mean, it's just crazy shit. Not saying females in general won't do that, but you got to look at the pecking order, the Darwinism scale. And I brought this up before. You can attach women's self-esteem to their social status in society. So the white women tend to have a certain level of self-esteem. The yellow women, Asian women tend to have a certain level of self-esteem. The Arab women tend to have a certain level of self-esteem, going down, 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 so on and so forth. And that's kind of how it is. No one wears weaves more than black females. No one goes to the point of black females in terms of trying to look beautiful. No one wears more makeup. No one wears another race's hair like that. Like, they go through extreme lengths to feel beautiful. And I don't know if that transpires into other things. Like, I'll take your man, because that can also transpire into other situations that become more dangerous. Like messing around with a married man or XYZ and a third. That lack of self-esteem or that self-hatred can often spill over into other vessels, or other parts of your life. I don't know, but it's very, very strange and odd, man, and dangerous. But I just wanted to make this brief video, man. Let me know what you think. Do you know of a black woman in your family, or a black woman that that's your friend or relative that you know for a fact that she's been with a married man? I mean, what do you think about this topic? Be sure to like, subscribe. Welcome to the new subscribers. If you don't know me, I'm a straight shooter. I make content not all the time, but I do make consistent content. And I love feedback. So let me know what's going on. And again, it's your main man, the author. I'm gone.